You're watching The Pat O'Hara Show with host Sean McDowell on Preds TV.
Welcome one and all football fans. This is The Pat O'Hara Show. Predator fans ready for a victory, and it could come very soon after these opening two losses of the season put them at 0-2 with this bye week upon us. I am Sean McDowell. We welcome you to our first edition of The Pat O'Hara Show, and we mentioned those two losses. They have been tough ones for Orlando's AFL pride. Losing in week one, of course, to Bossier Shreveport just a few days ago. Les Moss and his Jacksonville Sharks team getting a victory by 26 points over these Predators. Coach Pat O'Hara and company definitely ready to get this victory, and their next chance comes after this bye week passes with the Iowa Barnstormers coming calling on the Jungle. Tickets available for that April 30th date. By the way, an 8 o'clock kickoff at the Jungle. We will give you the phone number so you can get tickets just a little later on in our presentation. But first, it is time now to talk with Pat O'Hara. Coach, glad to have you here on the Pat O'Hara Show.
Thank you, Sean.
All right, let's talk about where you stand at this point in the year. We've talked about the opening week loss to Bossier. Of course, you lost last week to Jacksonville. I know you're ready to move on from these two losses, and as you told me earlier, get that bad taste out of your mouth.
Yeah, it's not the way we wanted to obviously start off, Sean. You know, week one, we had a great offensive effort, one of the better offensive efforts we've had in the history of the Predators. You know, we broke records offensively. In contrast, we couldn't stop anybody, and we got into a shootout. We're not used to getting into shootouts, and we came up on the short end of the stick. Whoever had the ball last was going to win that game. So disappointing. Came back, tried to regroup defensively, you know, against Jacksonville. And boy, we sputtered on offense. Turn the ball over in penalties, that'll kill you every time.
The offense looked awesome in week one, you're right. Week two, maybe not quite what you expected out of Nick Hill and company. The team is 13th in the league overall in offense if you put the two efforts together. It's a gel in progress, isn't it? It's a good thing coming together. It's just going to take a little time.
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously you don't want to be in the situation we're at right now. But the good news is that with the bye week, and we can clean up some of these mistakes that we're making. You know, a lot of them were mental assignments and penalties. These things are fixable. And going into Iowa week next week, you know, we'll be ready to do that.
You know, to praise the offense, T.T. Tolliver, Antoine Tolliver, call him what you will, he's still T.T. He's still T.D. T.T. at that. 24 catches in 2 weeks, 3 scores through the air, and he climbed the wall for that great score a week ago. Can you talk about the contribution that this veteran receiver has given you?
Yeah, you know, T.T. is a guy who's been around a long time and someone that we count on to make plays, and certainly he's able to do that. So he had a little bit of a foot the other night, but he played through it. And that just shows his toughness, but we're very thankful to have him.
What kind of a spark does that give you when a guy goes up the wall to make a play like he did?
No, it's huge, you know, and you see a guy go get the ball and then come up with it and get excited about it, make a big play. I think that makes a Sports Center highlight, so you certainly appreciate that effort.
Your defense is not where it ought to be just yet. Again, we emphasize patience. Coaches are never happy when you see 65 points per game on average on the other side of the scoreboard. You have 2 tackles for loss as a team so far. What do you plan to do as far as practices to jumpstart your guys and get them running to the ball a little harder?
We've got to clean that up. You know, defensively, I thought we played good enough to win, but offense put our defense in some tough situations. So along those lines, you know, I think we're going to make a couple moves this week, maybe pull some guys off of injured reserve that are ready to roll and help us out on defense. And then we put a solid game together with offense and defense, then we'll be in better shape.
You mentioned that it's Iowa week. The Barnstormers as a franchise have a very good tradition. Just so far, they have yet really to show off what they're all about. They're winless so far as well, ranked second in the AFL in opponent first downs with 34. I know as you look across the field, you tell your team, take these guys seriously, show them respect. However, the fact is, this is a chance for you to get a win.
Well, sure. I mean, every week is a chance for us to win. In this league, teams improve a lot from one week to the next. You can't take anybody lightly.
That's
so,
right.
Especially in our situation at 0-2 right now, you are what your record says you are. So, we can't look past anybody. We're ready to take on this next week and get ready for Iowa.
The bye week is here. Is this a good time for you to get this bye week? Are you pleased with this being sort of an early season rest period for you?
Well, it's you know, bye week after a loss is it's a long week. What it does do, you know, glass half full type of approach, is that it does give us a chance to really dig down and see what we have, reevaluate what we're doing, and try to prepare a better plan for next week.
How do you spend that bye week in practice? Is that extra conditioning? Is it extra drills, extra work on a scheme? Tell me about a practice during a bye week.
Yeah, more of it's mental and the basics, and obviously, and we don't have the guys the whole week because it's a bye week, and in our league, it's a different type of element right now. So not a lot of the guys are around, but it's a time for them to get away from it, take a fresh approach, and come back on Sunday and get ready to go.
Tell me a little more about what we said in our open as far as patience. You're 0-2 right now, but things look good. If you break down a box sheet, if you break down a scoring sheet, positive things are happening on each side of the ball, and they're going to come together sooner or later.
I believe it will. I believe it will, Sean. It's something that, nobody wants to be 0-2 right now, but it is a long season. We've got to regroup. I think all will be forgiven if we can take care of business against Iowa.
So let me give you a chance to sell some tickets. Speak to the fans, if you will. Tell them what they're going to see April 30th against Iowa at the Jungle.
Well, we need it to be loud. We need everyone to show up, be really loud when Iowa has the ball. That's the key. And I know our guys are going to appreciate putting on all black in the Jungle and put on a show for the fans.
Wearing all black, boy, does that get the guys fired up a little extra to show something different, being back in black?
I think it will. I think that whole back in black thing will be a great deal, especially for our players that haven't experienced it. And that's the other thing. Have some guys that haven't experienced the Predator way, and we've got big X's on our chests, and we're going to get everyone's best game. They want a piece of Orlando, and we have to be ready to do that.
First-year coach Pat O'Hara getting ready for the Iowa week. That, of course, coming up at the Jungle, Amway Arena. That is on April 30th at 8 o'clock. Tickets still available. If you give a ring to the Predators' offices and ask for tickets, they will be glad to fix you up if you give them your major credit card. That is no problem whatsoever. My friend, thank you.
Thank you, Sean.
Good luck against Iowa.
Thank you.
Again, that number that you need for tickets to the Iowa game, and of course, every home game on the Predators' schedule for tickets to see the Preds play at the Jungle, 407-648-4444. Major credit cards, of course, accepted for every home date at the Jungle. Give them a ring and ask for your tickets to see the Orlando Predators of the Arena Football League. Our thanks, of course, to Pat O'Hara, the first-year head coach of these Predators. Look forward to seeing you at the Iowa game when these Predators are back in black, playing on home grass at Amway Arena and, of course, the Jungle. Thanks for watching the Pat O'Hara Show here on Preds TV. I'm Sean McDowell. We will see you at the games.
This has been the Pat O'Hara Show with host Sean McDowell. Don't forget to visit www.orlandopredators.com for all your season ticket info. If you would like to advertise on Preds TV, use the email address on your screen now.